So today there's actually been a new update or patch introduced into Skyblock. There's something very, very interesting in the patch notes that I kind of want to talk about. I mean, there are some other interesting things, but there's one thing that stands out in particular. And it's actually the first line that appears on the patch notes. Fixed Crimson Armor swipe ability causing duplicate kill rewards to be given. Since when was that a thing? Now, I don't know if that includes RNG drops as well, because like I said, I literally didn't know this was a thing until I saw the patch notes and it was fixed. So yeah. Now from this, I was pretty intrigued and decided to take a look through some of the comments. Like this one here. I just wasted 600ml on a Crimson set to do this 2 hours ago. That is a bit of an L. Now, I saw the people complaining in the comments about how they were basically using this to abuse the ghost grinding method, obviously getting sorrows and those rewards being duplicated, which I guess, to be honest, is fair enough. Why would you not? After all, a sorrow is technically an RNG drop anyway. However, of course, this bug essentially made you make double the coins that you would usually make if obviously using Crimson Armor. Or at least that's how the patch notes make it seem. Honestly, that's actually kind of insane. I don't really think I've ever heard of anything similar to that before. Now, in my mind, it only makes sense that for something to change in terms of a bug to occur in Skyblock, other things need to change. And the most recent update or patch since this one that actually came out today was 7 days ago. So at minimum, this has been a thing for 7 days. GG's to anyone who's taken advantage of this. Anyway, before we do go any further, if you are planning on purchasing anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS. It gets yourself 5% off. Also, you should subscribe to the channel. It does help out a lot. And you should join the Discord server. It's linked in the description of this video. We do Slayers and Dungeon carries, so if you need carries or want to carry and maybe make some coins, make sure to join. However, like I said, that isn't everything from this latest patch. There's other interesting things to talk about. For example, directly under the patch where the duplicate kill rewards has been fixed, it says we have identified some issues with this fix. So referring to the fix with the Crimson Armor in particular, swipe does not damage the entity that was hit by the player. A fix to this is rolling, but will take a while until it's developed on every server. So the swipe does not hit the entity that was hit by the player. That to me makes it sound like, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. It makes it sound like the swipe just doesn't work. However, that isn't the case. I guess it does specify that it will take a while until it's developed on every server, which probably explains why, like, in the hub, we can hear the swipe, but nothing's really happening. Just the base damage, which is interesting. But if we like warp to Kudra, go to the Crimson Isles, with 10 stacks we can see that it in fact actually is working. Which I guess kind of makes sense considering some servers have been updated and some servers haven't. Still pretty strange if you ask me. Then I thought, oh well, maybe it's just certain mobs, but I don't think that's the case. Considering these magma cubes have absolutely no problem taking the full force of that swipe damage. And so do these cubes here too. So yeah, it's hard to say. But yeah, definitely an interesting one. I don't really know what to make of it. Honestly, the way that the swipe ability on the Crimson Armor has always worked has always been a little bit of a mystery to me, considering that there's literally perks that just don't even appear on the armor set. I don't know why it wouldn't just be transparent. Also in the Spider's Den, we hear the swipe, but we don't see any extra damage. Which once again is kind of, I mean, not what I expect, but it kind of makes sense. It most definitely seems to work in the end. However, kind of makes me think that the only mobs that I've tested where it doesn't appear is in mobs where I can already one-hit them. But they always used to show regardless, so I don't know. Having said that, when we actually test the, when we just test it on the regular Enderman that we can already one-hit, it was kind of inconsistent, considering sometimes it actually does hit for a swipe and sometimes it doesn't. But it kind of makes me feel like it is more of just an issue with the swipe displaying rather than it actually dealing damage. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe there's something going on. Because the swipe is undoubtedly working, I don't know. I guess from the rest of the patch notes, some notable things probably will be fixed Soul Eater enchantment not working on Slayer mini-bosses. Maybe it's just me, but I don't understand why there's always been so many issues with the Soul Eater enchantment, considering it should be really good, but for a large majority of the time it's always been underwhelming, mainly because it's not actually been working. They've fixed the Overlord enchantment not working on boomerangs, which once again is just another really, really weird thing that they would have to even fix. Like, why would it just not work on boomerangs? Who knows? But after boomerangs have been changed recently, that's, I guess, pretty cool to see. Fix Slayer boss spawning problems when the last mob to kill is dying to the void. I guess that's nice. Now, the bit that I find really strange about the whole Crimson Armor, the double drops, obviously it's been fixed now, but obviously it must have been a thing for at least a week, is that no one's really made a video about it at all. Unless that video doesn't include anything to do with Crimson Armor giving double drops in the title, or the description, or the tags, then I just simply can't really find anything. But the same goes if you just search it up on the internet. You'd think that there will be something maybe on the forums that displays, but that's just not the case at all. It seems to be almost very mysterious in the fact that there's just nothing on it at all. Other than this one reply on the forums of this person being very sad that they've just wasted all the coins because of the double drops. But it was going to be fixed. Now don't get me wrong, there's probably a lot of people who knew about it that were just keeping it to themselves, but the fact that none of it actually got out is kind of crazy. The more and more I look, the less and less there actually is. It is just a little bit strange. If any of you guys know how long this has actually been a thing for, then please let me know. I mean, you're revealing your secrets after it's been fixed, so we're all good. Just find it completely baffling how nobody has talked about it at all, not even just on a post. I guess all I can really say is big rips to anyone that has spent a ton of coins on Crimson Armor, because realistically, farming Ghosts, you could probably make about 40 mil an hour relatively comfortably, which is kind of cracked. Kind of kicking myself for not knowing about it, considering it would have been pretty cool to actually have a try. Oh well. In all fairness, if you have spent a ton of coins upgrading Crimson Armor, only for this to happen and be patched, then it's not really all lost, considering it's still a very good set of armor. Let's be real. Like it just is. It's really OP. And plus, I mean, you know, it's Skyblock. Hypixel is Hypixel. Skyblock is Skyblock. It's just a matter of time until something else happens that makes this armor set even more cracked than it was before. But realistically, in conclusion, majority of this update is just basically revolving around Crimson Armor. I know how Crimson Armor is supposed to work, and I'm sure most people do. You can kind of gather that by just reading the abilities of the armor. However, there's just so clearly so much going on behind the scenes that you can't see. It just kind of becomes confusing as to what it's even supposed to do, when it's supposed to work, where it's supposed to work, and so on. But anyway, that's all for today. If you have enjoyed today's video, make sure you do leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.